Lordy me, lordy me, lordy me. I look like I've had a haircut, but I hadn't. I've got this little ponytail back here, and I'm thinking, it's hot, y'all. It's hot. It's going to be real, real hot today. So I decided I got me a ponytail back here. Not to be confused with being a bebopper and a kid way back when, but today's day is going to be interesting because it's going to be hot. It's going to be 96 according to the weather in Atlanta. The heat index 109. Do you know what that means for y'all? It means that we got to get warm, and I got to get warm. We got to get cool. We're going to get warm. See this? This is so sweet. Today's program is going to be about what would Jesus do? And what would Jesus do if he was seeing all the nastiness of the world today? What would Jesus do? See that little baby? One of my viewers brought me this, or one of my guests brought me this, and I just love that he's here with me today, because I think if we ever needed Jesus, we're going to need him right here, right now, because the world is going to the devil in a handbasket. And they always say when you're shaking things up and making a difference, then Satan shows up. Well, not today, Satan. It's going to be about Jesus. It's going to be about this little fella right here. And if you get some of these and you hand them out and you influence people, maybe you can be better than those that are being negative and crazy. And there's a lot of crazy in the world, and I want away from that crazy. Just don't, it's a weird climate right now. And next week, instead of this week, Bill Sinyard is bringing an elderly guest, and he's bringing the most wonderful gentleman who is coming to be with us. And I'm excited because I like old people. It's because I'm old people, and old people kind of flock to old people. Now, old people tend to be one of two things: the old-time Democrats like my grandparents, or the conservatives like my father-in-law, who would never have done anything except be a conservative and vote conservative and coerce me to vote conservative. And I said, Paul, you don't have to tell me to vote. I do that anyway. But we're going to talk a little bit about if you don't vote, then you can't make a difference. It is important that you vote. It is important that you show up. And so we're going to ask you to think about this election and to go whichever way you decide you want to go. I know that the nasties have started in so many elections, and it's getting a bit crazy, and I don't like that. I don't like the crazies, and I kind of look at people's record and what have they done and what have they offered and what are they willing to do, and I look at their character, and then I decide, am I going to vote for that person or not? Well, I've been looking at Rick Jackson for a long time, and I've been thinking about what he's done in the world and the difference he's made and where he came from. And boy, howdy. He came from Techwood homes. He came from a horrible lifestyle, but he made a difference in his own life. And now he's willing to put himself out there for all the naysayers and all the negativity and all the crazies. But my favorite thing he's done so far, out of all the visits he's done, he went to Dixie Motor Speedway this weekend. And I know somebody was there because the little fella was celebrating his birthday. And Dixie Motor Speedway, of course, that'd be a great place to celebrate your birthday. And Xana was celebrating her birthday, and Nanny didn't get to go because Nanny was working. And so I didn't get to go, but I thank the Lord that they had such a good time. I thought my daughter had lost her mind because she planned this outdoor party with a bunch of kids and a bunch of adults with horses, but she solved the problem of the heat. They got this water slide that even the adults could go down, which was really cool. So to Drake and to Xana, happy birthday to both of you. We're going to share some photos, and we're going to share some of the things that happened this weekend, and then we're going to share something very special to my heart. This is something I want each of you to read and think about it. People can damage your image, criticize your personality, and spread rumors about you, but they can never take away your good deeds. No matter how they describe you, you will always be cherished by people who know you best. And at the end of today, or at the end of the photos, we're going to share something about a lady who left a great legacy, and we're going to share that in just a few minutes. But you know people's heart, you know what they are, and you know what they stand for. And don't listen to the rumors, don't criticize, don't, just be nice. Just try to be nice. Granny says if you can't say something nice, just hush. So let's be nice. And the election is already starting off pretty negative. Look at this. That's about two of my favorite people right there. That's just two of the finest right there. And Drake and Xana were born like just a day apart, growing up, living the good life, spoiled rotten, of course, spoiled rotten. We got to spoil them youngins. And how precious, how precious, how precious. And y'all know that's Reverend Wallace Parks that was toting that boy. And look at that. How sweet, how sweet. Were y'all at Talking Rock at the park? Where were y'all at? No, but that just, I love going to Talking Rock to the creek because it's so cool there and it's got swings and you can just sit and hang out. But yeah, and happy birthday, Drake. I hope you enjoyed every pavilion. At the ETC Pavilion, that's right. And that's right here in Ellijay. Look at that boy. He's not as cute as Trace, but he's really cute. He's a doll. What a cutie pie. Cutie pie, cutie pie. And I say he's a little tiny bit spoiled, just a little tiny bit. I think that's our duty, is to spoil him just a little bit. Just enough so they know how much they're loved. Look at that, how precious, how precious, how precious. That papa holding that baby's hands, that's what it's about. Look at that, how sweet, how sweet, how sweet. And I bet that slide was hot. I bet, even in the shade, it was hot. So, yeah, that's really cool. Happy birthday, Drake. And happy birthday, Xana Jordan. And look at what her granny planned. Her granny took them, she brought in horses and took them on a ride. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Okay, this is my favorite event that Rick Jackson has done. He went to Dixie Motor Speedway, which is where all of us love to smell the dirt, smell the gas, smell the oil on those blown engines. We love racing. So thank you to Rick Jackson for showing up at Dixie. And I guarantee you, he shook a lot of hands of people who had already committed to vote for him, because birds of a feather flock together, and usually country folk and conservatives vote the same way. And it's just, that's the way we are. That's the way we are. And a lot of Democrats are going to cross the path and they're going to come over and vote for Rick Jackson, because he has the tried and true record, and we need this businessman running the state of Georgia. I think it's going to be amazing. So if you weren't at Dixie, then you didn't get your picture made with him, but a whole bunch of people did, and we're going to share some of those. And you know, if you don't vote, you can't gripe. I say that all the time, because my poor little old father-in-law, 6:45 in the morning, he'd call me and say, the polls open at 7, you need to come and vote. Yes, Papa, I'll be there. Yes, Pa, I'll be there. Yes, Pa, I'll be there. Yes. Okay, I love these photos, and I'm so glad somebody shared these. When I first came to Jasper, the first time I was at a 4th of July celebration, it was crazy because Jasper was so different. Mother had a restaurant to the left of where that picture was taken. It was the old Archer Court restaurant, and Mother had that restaurant where Miss Essie worked for her in the kitchen. And Lord have mercy, you talk about some good cooking. Holy cow, you've never eaten such good cooking. And the building was old, the roof was leaking. It was crazy, but Mama loved that. And she said, I just absolutely loved it. And right behind it was a laundromat that is no longer there. Look at these cool old pictures. This is where Walgreens is today. You think about that, y'all, how history is changing so much. But Mama's restaurant was there, the Lewis Atkins laundromat was behind it, and they had a jukebox where you could play 5 songs for a quarter. And when I would go do the laundry, I would do the laundry, but I would always save out 50 cents to play me 10 songs. And then sometimes the clothes would be damp dry, and I wouldn't have extra money to put in there because I'd spend it in the jukebox, but don't tell Mama. Okay, this is one of my favorite photos ever, because I worked right there at the Yellowbird restaurant for Doreen Lee, and that's where I learned to have a hamburger with onions and her famous coleslaw. Holy cow, there ain't nothing been no better than a Doreen Lee hamburger with her famous slaw. It was so good. It reminds me of the Georgian Hills slaw down in Canton. But look at this, y'all. It is so different. Walgreens is there. Everything is gone, but it was so cool. It was such a neat, quaint place. There were little shops in there. There was the Red Mushroom was there. The Yellowbird was there. Different little shops opened in there. Some people had offices in there. That was a part of Jasper history, and it's sad to say it's gone. It had all kinds of repairs that needed doing, from plumbing to electrical to you name it, because it'd been there a long time, but it was the coolest place. And the Yellowbird did have fantastic food, because my friend Doreen Lee was about the best cook ever. She could do anything, and her slaw was to die for. Now this, look at that picture. The lady, the tallest lady in the background was Miss Elizabeth Jones, and she actually was at my baby shower when Angela was born. She hand crocheted me the most beautiful blanket, and I probably still have it because I don't get rid of anything, and if you know me, you know that. I keep all the old stuff. That's her mom and her sister, and that is the legacy of Archer Court right there. And oh my gosh, Miss Elizabeth, she and Mama were the best of friends, and what a priceless picture. I'm so glad that somebody shared that. And here, this was, my daughter Dawn had this brilliant idea that I thought was absolutely crazy, because it was going to be so hot. But when you blend horses and water, then the kids get to get hot riding horseback, and then they get to get in the water. So it kind of made sense after she did it. But I was like, are you crazy? You need to have a party in the air conditioning. But nope, they were outside in the heat, and they had an absolute blast. So happy birthday, Xana Jordan, as she celebrated 4 years old. That kid loves farming, loves animals, loves chickens, loves you name it. She loves being outdoors, and you hardly ever see her with shoes on. The kid loves to go barefooted. So it was an amazing time, and I'm so thankful that they got to enjoy the time they did, and just get outside and play with your kids. When you think about the kids that grow up in the city and never have an opportunity to do things like this, that was a pretty awesome day. And even though I didn't get to be there, I'm happy I got to see it in pictures. Now last night I noticed that the first signs have gone up in Ball Ground. You can't put them up yet in the city property, but you can put them up in the county property. And I love that people will put their hat in the ring, they'll put their name in the bucket, and they will decide to run for city council. Well, if you run for city council one time and you do a lot of good things, then you will get reelected. Vicki Benefield has done a lot of good things, and I hope that she gets reelected. She's an amazing woman who was talked into running by somebody that I know and appreciate and love, and he's been part of Cherokee County for a long time. She has a great reputation, and she does what she says she'll do, and I'm happy to call her a friend, and of course we'll be celebrating and supporting her. And I look forward to whatever she can do for Ball Ground in the next reign, and I hope that it is good. It's good. Now this, y'all look at that. How did 4 years pass so fast? It is so crazy that this little bitty baby is now a kid riding a horse. She's 4 years old, and she's not afraid of anything. She loves animals. She loves people. She's an amazing, that's God's greatest gift right there, is a precious, healthy baby. And what a blessing. What an absolute blessing. So sweet. She's a cutie pie, and she really is a cutie pie. But she's got this personality plus until she hits overdrive, and then when she's through, she's through. She doesn't want to fool with you. She just wants to do her own thing, and she's done with you. So precious. Not voting is giving up your power. Keep that in mind. If you have not registered to vote, you need to register to vote. If you have not ever voted in the past, it is time you do. This is an election that I think is the most important in the state of Georgia and in the city of Ball Ground. I think it's very important. And I hope that you will get out and get to know the candidates and then make your choice. Make your choice. You choose who you think is right for the job. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Now there's our Jesse, and our Jesse is a big supporter of Rick Jackson. That boy loves that man, and he says, I really respect him. I really respect kids and teenagers that get out there and do the right thing. They get involved, they become part of the process, they start at a young age, and then they share the good things they hear and they see. And he said, Rick Jackson is really the real deal. So to Jesse, thank you for supporting him, and thank you for being there for him, because that's what it's about. It's about the present, the past, and the future. And the future is bright if we have kids who get involved and kids who make a difference. And we have a video, I think, that's going to come up in just a minute or so. And I've been watching these young men, and I said, you know what? We all need things like this. Now let's watch this video of Rick Jackson. I think it's going to come up in just a minute, but when we think about Dixie Motor Speedway, I can smell the dirt from right here, because it is a dirt track and it is always full of people. Look at the stands, they're full of people, and it was hot. Oh, Lord have mercy, it was hot Saturday. So, but they had a blast, and that's what you do. You get out. This is Georgia. This is a Georgia summer night at Dixie Motor Speedway, and it's been going on for many, 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 many years. And yeah, progress, they keep the track about like it was. They've done a little bit of work here and there, but it's a dirt track. It's been a dirt track for And this, if you've ever eaten a life-changing sandwich that I absolutely love, those sandwiches, if you look really close, you'll find somebody who stars in some programs on television. One of them is called The Good Doctor, and that's a really cool program. So he came to Ball Ground, and he got himself and his friend a life-changing sandwich. And Betty, are those sandwiches good? Oh my gosh. Yum, yum, yum. Yummy. If you haven't tried one, you need to. And again, there are teenagers getting involved, teenagers being part of the Jackson campaign. That's what we need. We need young kids to get involved, and we need young kids to look at the candidates, analyze the candidates, and say, who do I want representing us? Who do we want representing us? You're not old enough to vote yet, but you can influence your granny and your grandpa. So there you go. There you go. And yeah, the stands were getting full. Look at all that gear that dude's got on to race. Now that's going to be hot in that race car. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what the temperature inside would be of one of those cars, because we know the engine gets hot, hot, hot. But can you imagine? And I thought it was really cool. I don't know who planned this for Rick Jackson, but I think it was a very smart move, a very, very smart move. I'll tell you somebody else who would love to have been there. If he was here on Earth, Eddie Brackett would love to have been there. That man loved racing. He loved racing. And there we go again as they get ready to start the race. And it's about summer nights in Georgia. That's what folks do on summer nights in Georgia. They gather at the racetrack, they gather at the ball fields, they gather and spend time with family and friends. And they talk politics, and that's what they do. And as a Cherokee County resident, I can tell you Cherokee County has the best sheriff's department, and we are so thankful for Frank Reynolds and his great guidance, and just a wonderful, wonderful guy. And I don't know if that's the Woodstock Police, I'm not sure. I can't tell, but you know, say thank you to those boys in blue, although most of them wear black now. They're still boys in blue, so, and women in blue. So don't forget the women who put their lives on the line every day. And again, people supporting our candidate. There he is. I wonder how many miles he's put on this campaign. I cannot even imagine. I cannot, because every time I look, I see him from Savannah to He'll go Savannah, Hilton Head, then he'll come back up and he will go into the mountains, and then he'll go back over into the city. So he's traveling a lot. Now this week, a very, very special lady went to be with Jesus, and we're going to do a song. This song, actually Selena recorded this song for her own funeral, and it was played as she went out in the casket. Connie Parrish, the most precious, precious lady who lived a very special, blessed life, went to be with Jesus after a very, very short diagnosis of cancer. And it doesn't seem real to me. It just doesn't seem like this should be. She's much, much younger than me, and a very fast and swift, horrible disease took her. But she met Jesus, and I can assure you he was happy to see her when she got there. Pray for her family, pray for her husband, pray for everybody who knew and loved her, because it is unbelievable when you lose somebody to cancer. Most of the time you have time to prepare. There was no time to prepare from the diagnosis to the death. It was a very fast, rapid, and we loved her. We loved her. Just precious, precious lady. So we're going to do a song by the Perrys, and I want you to listen to this song, and I want you to think about it. When we leave this earth, what do we want to do? We want you to celebrate us home, because we're going to go to heaven. If you are saved and if you love the Lord and you have given your heart to Him, you're going to go to heaven, and you're going to get to see your loved ones that have gone on. So sit back now and listen to the Perrys as they do a very, very special song. And today it's in honor and in memory of Miss Connie.
This next song coming up reminds us of a great story, a true story that happened to us on the road. A lady had driven 7.5 hours after her grandson had just gotten his driver's license and was on his way to show his license to his grandparents, and was tragically killed in an automobile accident before he reached their home. The next morning, the grandmother got up and was scanning through the radio station in total shock. What had happened the evening before, came across this song. I called the radio station and found out who it was. Had no idea really about gospel music nor at all about the Perrys. And got on the website, found our schedule, and the closest town that we were going to be was about a 7.5 hour drive for her for any of the length of time in our schedule. And she showed up and shared that story with us. And the lady stood there in tears over the loss of a grandson just 2 weeks prior to us being in this town. The song ministered to her in a great, great, great way. And that's our prayer of any of our songs, with this song specifically.
When the time comes and I'm standing at the river that separates the two worlds that I love, torn between my precious friends and my family, and the place of peace that's waiting up above, hold my hand and stay.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time. And delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
If you or your business are looking for local advertising opportunities, we have sponsorships available for new programming coming soon on ETC3. Contact us at 706-697-5591.
See us anytime you can.
ETC is connected to our community. We provide communication services that connect friends and family. We're connecting with our neighbors through support of local causes and events, connecting our students and schools to a world of learning resources, and connecting you to the latest technology with local customer service. Learn more about our community connections and fast, reliable internet. Visit etcnow.com today.
Whether you're swimming in the sea, or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Okay, we've been looking back today at pictures, and when I think about the Archer Court and I think about the amazing memories there at the laundromat, seems like a world ago, and it's been a long time. But when I think about how things have changed, they've changed for the better. If you've been to downtown Jasper lately, Perot Park is absolutely beautiful, and I'm so thankful that that was named after Dr. Perot. There's so many good things happening today in the world. There are also some very, very negative things happening. And when I look back at the people who've influenced me, from my mother, my grandmother, people that I respected, nowhere could I find any more respect for a gentleman named Eddie Brackett. He worked hard. He ran a sawmill, pulpwood. You talk about hard work, hard life, but he gave everything of himself. That's the kind of person he was. Today, I want to ask each and every one of you, be an Eddie Brackett. Just be nice. Just be nice. Just get out and be positive, do a hard day's work for a hard day's dollar, and make a difference in somebody's life. And when we look at Calvin Farmer Park is a part of the history of Ball Ground. It is a very, very important part of the future of Ball Ground, because when we look at how many people enjoy that park every single day. I took a picture of the new pavilion that's going to be over there, and it was built, it's almost finished. It's, I'd say, a week or so away from being finished, and it was built on the old concrete pad where the community building was. There's a lot of history in that area of Ball Ground. There's some good, some bad, some ugly. You see times when jobs moved away, that was an ugly part. You see times when the buildings were only full of rocks and there were no businesses there, nobody to employ anybody. There was nobody to raise awareness of this city is just sitting here with buildings full of rocks. Now they're full of thriving businesses. And we hope that if you haven't been to downtown Ball Ground, you will get to know the area. We also hope that you will look at it in a positive light. I think that there ought to be a whole lot more said about the fact that a movie that Tom Cruise did was done there, and a lot of places were featured. And one of my friends, Joyce Wilkie's house, was one of those houses that was featured. Nobody ever talks about that. They talk about the negative or the weird things that, you know, cause issues and problems. And I'm like, let's just get on a positive side. Let's get on a positive side. So we're going to share a video that I did not very, very long before Eddie went to be with Jesus. And his friend David Byers was there, and we just talked. And we did part of that interview a while back, but we're going to finish that today because I want you to think about it. I want you to think about being kind, being hardworking, and being a giving and a good neighbor. When you look at the developments that have happened in downtown Ball Ground, I had the privilege of selling 3 estates. The Hobart Estate, the Roberts Estate, and the Farmer Estate. And that is what developed a walking town. That walking town is amazing. You see moms pushing a stroller, taking their kids to the ice cream store. You see dads walking the pets around the block. You see kids at the baseball field. It's a great part of the progress of Ball Ground. So if you haven't been to Calvin Farmer Park, you need to go. And you need to know that it was made possible by a very special family who, at the end of the oldest family members' lives, it's time to do what you need to do. You need to sell your property, you need to divide the money, and everybody needs to be happy. Don't look at it as a negative, look at it as a positive. Somebody had paid taxes on that property for years and years and years. It's about the future, and the future in Ball Ground is bright. It is full of smiling faces at the park. It's full of smiling faces walking the streets. It's full of, even more people are using the library now. It's about the future and the best for the future. So I want you to meet a gentleman. If you didn't know him, then bless your heart, you missed a very, very special person. Here we go to our sweet Eddie Brackett.
Go that way.
Yeah, yeah.
So it only took 2 over here for the mill.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about somebody that you lost last year? Didn't you lose your dear friend Cotton Bozeman?
Yeah.
You've lost a lot of friends lately.
Cotton, he'd come by to see me about every couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah. And y'all would be sitting on the porch.
On the porch, and sometimes he'd have to go to Canton. I'd ride down,
Yeah.
sometimes drive down through.
Yeah, yeah.
Got to do a lot of reminiscing.
Yeah, he'd have to go maybe to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you somebody else I know you miss, Frank Farmer, because he would come and see you, and y'all would go to Dixie to the races, wouldn't you?
He liked to race as good or better than I did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was a good man, yeah. And he died suddenly and pretty young. He was pretty young, so, yeah, and I know you miss him.
Thinking Frank was 72.
That's young. That's real young. That's young, isn't it, David? Yeah, that's young. That's young. Now, when you look back on all the things you've been able to share with your children, what are some of your favorite memories that you've passed along to your kids? Because they love hearing the stories of your life. And I know one of my favorite things to hear about you was the idea that you left Ball Ground and you went on that gorge bridge. That just blew my mind. I want you to Google it when you get home.
Okay.
It is amazing. Have you ever seen that bridge? It's terrifying. And he took his family. What kind of car did you go in?
Well, it was a 76 Monte Carlo.
A 76 Monte Carlo loaded up with all the brackets, headed across the bridge. That was, I mean, it blows my mind. It just, when you look at that gorge, there's no way I'd go across that bridge.
You're a brave man, Eddie.
Yes, you are. What made you want to go to the Capitol in Washington, D.C.?
Because we was already in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And went through the flower gardens of Shenandoah, and then after I pulled out, I happened to see a sign of 68 miles to Washington, D.C. And got up there and I said, Lord, what I've got into. 5 lanes going one way and 5 on the other side.
Oh my gosh.
I never seen much lanes.
Yeah.
And that was about 20 miles this side of Washington, D.C. But we went in pulled on in there toward the Washington Monument.
Wow.
And walked up the fairway to the Capitol. And that seemed like 3/4 of a mile,
Yeah.
about a mile.
Yeah. And you know, today you can't even park near there because there have been so many terrorist attacks. You can't even get near it now. You have to park away from there, and it's just so different. So, but do you remember what it was like to see that Capitol and to see the magnitude of it?
We went in the rotunda.
Wow. Wow.
Two or three rooms at least.
Yeah, yeah. How many kids in the 70s got to do that? I mean, that's amazing that you did that for your family.
Well, I'm just glad I got to carry them all up there.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. I've always wanted to go during cherry blossom time when they're all blooming, the trees are blooming and the pink blooms, and that's been when I've always wanted to go to Washington. But
I've been there one time when they were blooming. It was very pretty.
is there anywhere that you've always wanted to go that you never got to go? Do you think about one place you'd like to have seen?
Well, I don't know. Maybe Alaska.
Alaska.
But I don't want to fly out. I'm going to drive out.
Yeah. Well, I would love to talk Freddie into driving you to Alaska because I know we brought you some video and some pictures and you loved it. And I know what it's like as a kid. I always wanted to go to Alaska, and once I got there, I wanted to live in Alaska. I mean, I absolutely fell in love with it. So maybe one day he'll drive you to Alaska. Think we can work that out? Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Would you go, Eddie?
Yes.
Would you go to Alaska if they would carry you?
I guess as long as I'm in an automobile.
As long as you're not on a plane.
I think your wife said she didn't let you want to go.
I have sat in a plane, but I've never been up.
You've never been on a plane. Wow.
No.
Wow. Wow. That's
You don't think you would want to be? Don't think you would want to fly?
I don't think so.
It's really simple once you get in the air and they close the door. I'm not a good flyer, even though I've flown to Alaska tons of times. I'm like a white knuckle flyer. I hold on and I'm just like, oh. But once you get up there, it's okay and it's pretty fast. So maybe we could talk you into it. But Freddie's like you. He did not like flying. That was not his favorite thing. So, well, Jenny, is there anything else we need to talk to him about?
Not unless there's something special he'd like to tell us. Any good memories of anything?
Eddie, tell them about your convertible. The red convertible with a different interior.
Well, yeah, I kept looking at this 41 Ford up at the Hubbard Hardin garage up here, or store. Maybe go up there and get me a RC Cola and a pack of peanuts and go back down the railroad and think about that 41 Ford sitting in the garage up there.
And the color of it.
Well, I'm going to say it was orange.
And the interior was what?
Leopard skin.
Leopard. No, I just cannot imagine that.
Eddie in that car.
Oh, that's wild. Did you drive a little bit fast?
No. Probably the speed limit, 55. There might have been a time or two I got above the limit.
Yeah.
Most
No, Eddie was one of the best guys in town. He never did anything like crazy.
Yeah, like some of you old guys did.
You weren't as wild as David Byers, were you?
David wasn't wild either.
Oh, good. Y'all were the sensible ones that didn't drink, right?
Yeah. You know, when you look back on your family history, I know that your granddad is buried over at, what's that church, Bethesda?
Bethesda.
Yeah, and then your mom's buried up here at the church, and then you mentioned Hightower. Are there relatives buried over at Hightower too?
Well, not that I know of. I just remember going a couple of years to
Church there.
church about twice a month.
Yeah.
On 2 Sundays out of the month, we'd go to Hightower when we lived during World War II in probably 42 and 43.
And day before yesterday, I was actually in Alpharetta, and I went by where the Brackets are buried at the cemetery.
Well, that's where my grandpa, and my daddy's buried at. I got
Right in downtown Alpharetta.
So the Brackets were from that area.
Yeah, and they lived at Freehome. Didn't you go to school a tiny short amount of time in Freehome? Not in Freehome, in Crabapple.
I started school in Freehome, and 1 year, seemed like I went 1 year in Crabapple. We did move from Freehome to Crabapple for about a year, and then back to Ball Ground.
And the rest of your life has been right here in Ball Ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you think of a better place to have grown up and raised your family?
No,
It's a good place. It's a good place. Yeah. Still full of a lot of good people. A lot of good people. You know, you were talking about the Harris Lumber Company and what a staple what they were for this community. Because you build a house, you go to Harris Lumber Company. You know, you got to have the wood, and it was a big deal. So they kept you working for a long time, didn't they?
5 days a week. Up to 209, 210. When things started slowing down,
Right.
everything started slowing down.
Boy, didn't it? We remember that.
I started the mill up in '83, and everything I could go 5 days a week. And then when it come 10, 11, 12, and things was getting slow, we were just getting to it in a couple hours a day for about 3 days a week, and that was it.
Yeah, yeah. It made a big difference in small business and large business. When the economy failed, it really failed. And small businessmen like you took a hard hit. That was hard to go from 5 days a week to a couple of days a week.
So what year did you close your mill, your sawmill? Been several years now.
It was 13 when I had the heart attack. That's when
So you closed it
in
down?
May of 13.
But I can tell you, if it'd been up to him, he'd have gone right back to it. But the doctor said no.
Well, I had the skids loaded that morning. I had it to go to work. It hit after I got up. It hit me, so I had to go south to across the road.
Right. And you know, work ethics today are different because most people would say, okay, I don't have to go back to work now. He wanted to go back to work because work's all he knew. You know, he'd worked all his life. So.
Well, you enjoyed working, didn't you? And enjoyed what you're doing. They say if you get something, if you work at something that you do, that you enjoy, then you don't have to work the rest of your life because you're really not, it's not like work. You're enjoying it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And you going to tell them about your pet black snake that was over there for years?
Yeah, I had about a 5 or 6 foot black snake. I'd be throwing bark across the carriage in a pile. I had a pile about 3 or 4 foot high. And that black snake come up through the pile. And as the carriage went back and forth, it'd turn his head and watch that carriage go back and forth. It amazed me.
Made you feel good, though, that there wouldn't be poisonous snakes around with that black snake around, wasn't it?
Reckon he wonders where you went.
I don't know.
Where did my buddy go?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking Hit went down to the bottom down there. The old Cocoa bus was sitting down there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it could have been another one, but I seen one down there that sort of looked like it.
That's interesting.
A lot of great memories. A
Well,
lot of great
thank you
memories.
so much, Eddie, for letting us interview you today and learn more about you and what it was like growing up in when you were young and your good memories. Thank you for sharing those with us today.
Well, appreciate y'all coming.
Well, thank you so much.
Now, where's Loretta's chocolate cake?
Y'all want to do one for AIM? This one's for Daddy. Abraham. The oak tree sure has grown, and my, how time has flown since we walked together on this land. I still love Daniel Boone, and I stare up at the moon when I remember times you came to see the band. My favorite childhood thrill was to meet you on the hill when you came home from the sawmill every day. You never let me down, and you never wore a frown. You always found a way to smile and say, I saved a biscuit for your son, and up that rocky hill I'd run to the old oak tree up by the washing stand. Things were really different then, but I'll always remember when I took your big black lunchbox from your hand. Memory of you, Dad, of all the happy times we had when everything was simple back at home. But the ages rolled away those days, and the family has parted ways. Words can leave things empty, and hearts can roam. Well, I've seen more days without you now than I saw while you were with me. And Daddy, I sure hope you understand. I thank you for the biscuits, Dad, and I thank you for the smile you had as I took your big black lunchbox from your hand. You saved a biscuit for your son, and up that rocky hill I'd run to the old oak tree up by the watching stand. Things are really different now, but I'll always remember how I took your big black lunchbox from your hand. Oh, Dewey sure has grown, and my, how time has flown since we walked together on this land. There stands the old oak tree, and a precious memory, where I took your big black lunchbox from your hand. There you go, Daddy.
I hope that that video of Lake Chatuge has enticed you, and you will be headed up to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds August 14th through the 22nd. And I can tell you tonight on Facebook, I'm going to be giving away some more tickets. I know a lot of y'all went to concerts last week, compliments of ETC and Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. So I'm going to give away some tickets tonight. And I want to remind you that Thursday, August the 20th, free admission for military and first responders, and the fair opens at 10 a.m. Pioneer Village Arts and Crafts and Exhibit Hall open, 11 a.m. Photography show opens, 4 p.m. Carnival rides open, and 7 p.m. Joe Nichols, and I'm going to be giving away some tickets to that. So pay attention to what we talked about today. Pay attention to what we're going to be talking about, and remember that Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds has brought in more money, more revenue from the state of Georgia, where you go down to the Florida line and come up. If you added all the miles, all the dollars, all the gas, all the food, I can guarantee you nobody in the state of Georgia has done what they have done for the tourist and the economy of small towns. So if you are a small town and you have benefited from people stopping along the way to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds, you need to get up there and support Miss Hilda and the gang. And again, it is the August the 14th through the 22nd. And the tickets are going to be given away tonight, so pay attention to what we talked about. We've got a very, very special birthday today for a young man. His name is Carter Ralston. And you know, it's funny, but I was 6 and now I'm 7. I think that's pretty cool, because that 6 to 7 transition, happy birthday, Carter, is that you kind of get into the groove. Hey, I'm growing up, and all of a sudden I'm headed toward being a tween, and you think about it, they grow so fast. So happy birthday to Carter. Today we are remembering the life of Eddie Brackett. We are remembering the life of Connie Parrish. We are remembering those who went on too soon. What I would give if Eddie Brackett could have made it just a little longer, just a little. Such a sweet, 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 kind man. So today I'm going to ask you, be an Eddie Brackett, be a Connie, be a nice person, be a sweet person, give back. Do something that benefits somebody besides yourself. That's pretty hard to do sometimes. So maybe you look at the whole picture and you say, you know, it's maybe not about me. Let's do something for somebody else. And when we look at what the Haynes family did with Calvin Farmer Park, it's not about anybody else. It's about giving back. It's about giving back, and that's what they do every single day. So if you visit Calvin Farmer Park, you can thank a very, very special family. If you visit Calvin Farmer Park and you see that it's improving, it's because my friend is very involved on the city council and with restoring, making the park all that it can possibly be at little or no tax dollars for you. It's about giving back. And that's what our council does. And so today, I'm officially throwing in, yes, my friend Vicki Benefield is running for re-election. I hope that you will get to know her. I hope that you will talk to her. I hope that you will give her the opportunity to tell you why she does what she does in giving back to Ball Ground, because it's all about giving back. It's giving back, and it's giving to those who possibly just moved into the area, possibly doing for those who've been there forever. But it's about making a difference in the cities where you live. And from Ball Ground to Turtletown, we invite you to get involved in your city, to become a part of what is happening around you. And if you're looking to do something in the Mineral Bluff area, I've just listed 11 acres up on 515. I don't know what it's going to be good for, but it's going to go on FMLS maybe by the end of today. It is very interesting how that area is growing and growing fast, but growing to a point that it is still a very comfortable place to call home. That's what it's about. We're going to preserve the past as we embrace the future, and without growth, a city dies. That's what it's all about. So listen to what they talk about, watch what they do, and understand that the best is still ahead for all of our small towns. A little bit of growth, a little bit of giving back, a little bit of jobs coming into the area, that is progress. So become a part of the good stuff. You know, when we look back and we think, what have we done to really contribute? We've done a lot. And I look at ETC as an example. They've given back and given back and given back scholarship and all kinds of things to make your community better. And as I was watching Drake's party, they've got the ETC Pavilion where you can use that for your events. So don't forget that. ETC is that company that gives back all the time. I'll see you again soon, and guess what? On Wednesday, right here, sitting right here by me, is going to be Mr. Ellijay and his buddy. Do you know who his buddy is? You will when you see him right here live on the set. I don't know if he's bringing his bass guitar or not, but you will be going, oh, wow, I didn't know he did that. Well, you'll know after Wednesday. Don't forget, concert tickets for September the 11th as we remember the 25th anniversary of 9/11, September the 11th and the 12th, a big concert here in Ellijay. You watch Wednesday and you'll get all the details. I'll see you again soon.